Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talks with Tina, where we are pursuing our most true and authentic self by what? You know you can't laugh too hard, you might cough. Uncovering our roots. Y'all know y'all can't you can't do not a lick of nothing out in these streets these days because let you breathe wrong. You got little Omicron. You see, I was thinking about Marion. All right, anyway. In the spirit of getting straight to the point, actually paused. So we're in a new background. I want y'all to see my desk because I'm fancy. But anywho, it's chaotic over here. In the spirit of getting straight to the point, today's topic is in the ring with triggers. And if you know anything about like a healing journey, not if you know anything, like if you're experiencing a healing journey for yourself, if you're embarking on one, you know that triggers come about quite often, or maybe it's just something that's not spoken of enough. But I feel like I face so many trigger moments on my journey that I always feel like I fall short or I'm disappointing myself in some way, shape, or form. But I was just thinking through like how sometimes like how I'm able to combat these triggers now, as opposed to when I first started my journey, how these triggers threw me off so bad. And I always was just like, how did I get here? Like I thought I was doing so good, but this one incident reminded me and took me back to this place where I just do not want to end up anymore, where I don't want to be. So in the ring with triggers, like I thought about boxing and I did a little research on it, and I just like everything kind of just clicked to me. So in boxing, you have up to 10 rounds, like 10 rounds is the most. But I just thought back of like all the times, like especially now at this point in my journey where I'm learning boundaries and I'm learning how to accept certain things, not even accept, but push past certain things that I don't hold myself to so harsh. I'm gonna say harsh, not hard. Harsh because it takes time to understand what these incidents have done to you. Like, how do you respond to them? What are your trigger responses? So boom, if we think of boxing, like just imagine these boxers coming in the ring fighting, ding, 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 ding. And then the moment that they feel so defeated, they getting up. You know how like little kids have tantrums, they be like imagine a boxer coming back with that, but no, they have strategy. You do your little ding, 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 take a break, and then you go come back with a new strategy of how you're supposed to knock out your opponent, right? So I think of like it being in the ring with triggers is literally like taking each round as an opportunity to face it a different way. And so if I'm coming up in each round, like ready with a trigger response, like, or a trauma response, literally just being triggered, and then it's going straight into a trauma response and I'm going into a tantrum or I'm being shut down, how am I now combating that trigger that is being present in my life again? And so for me, I didn't want to constantly be defeated by my triggers. Like, you ain't about to take me out 2 rounds. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to, first you don't succeed, you can dust yourself up and try it again. I don't even know if that's the lyrics. But that's what I came up with. And so each time I take it as an opportunity to get up and dust myself off and come with a new strategy. So what is helping me now? I would say what's helping me now is honestly realizing how far I've come and why certain things don't trigger me anymore. So when you reach a certain point of growth, I'm talking fast because I'm excited, y'all. When you reach a certain point of growth in your journey, certain things won't affect you anymore because you've healed past that hurt. And so learning to heal those areas properly and not just like put something over it to say that I've healed has allowed me to literally respond to my triggers and my trauma differently. For instance, y'all know little boy trouble. So those are my triggers. Like if there's an incident, if we get into an argument or a debate, my first instinct is to shut down. Like I didn't know how to fully communicate what I was saying. And so now I have a voice that I'm confident in. I'm confident in what I want to say. I have a newfound understanding of boundaries. So now I have boundaries to back up off of. And then I have healing. So I'm not going to allow myself to go back down the route of something that I've healed already. I don't want to deal with that pain again. I don't. So dealing with triggers, being in a ring with triggers, I come back with a different strategy. I don't come back throwing a tantrum. I don't come back saying, all right, forget it. I'm gonna just walk away. I'm gonna neglect you. I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna do all of this. I'm coming with a different strategy because I'm gonna defeat you. how bad I'm about to defeat you. And so how do we full circle this? How do we make it make sense to your life? When you are in the ring with triggers, trauma responses won't work. All of these defense mechanisms that we tend to resort to when we are confronted with these things, they work for a moment. But what happens when it comes up again? And so when you're in a constant cycle of these triggers coming up again and again and again, what is your strategy to combat these things? What is your next go-to move? Like, you just can't step up to it and say, "Oh, I'm mad." Like, that literally doesn't work. So I would say heal first. Heal first. Know what that trigger is, because when it becomes present again, you either know how to deal with it or it sets you back again. And so now you have to come up with a strategy of what happened here that made me feel like I've been knocked down. And when you feel like you've been knocked down, there's still work to do, and that's okay. Like, I still have so many trigger moments, but I don't shut down the way. That's like my trauma response, as I shut down bad. Like, I'm just like, okay, I go cry some little baby tears, and then I'll move forward. But then there's still no clear understanding of communicating why that was such an issue for me. And so now I have a voice where I can communicate what these things did to me or why they affect me the way they do. So I think that's how we full circle it and how we make sense to our life. When you're in the ring with trauma or triggers, know that you have multiple opportunities to get up, strategize, and go at it again. It's not going to be easy. You might get beat up sometimes, but know that there's multiple opportunities to defeat it, that you can win in all of these rounds, because it's just like, if you constantly keep yourself in the cycle, there's going to be multiple times that it's going to come at you again and again and again. And even when you are healed from it, it's still going to present itself to you, but it's a matter of how you get up. You have to get up at some point. And when you get up, you make a choice to say, I'm going to respond to this in a healthy way. I'm going to respond to this in the way that I know that I've healed from this pain. And this pain no longer has control over me. This pain can't beat me up and give me a black eye, right? So get up, strategize. You can do it. When you're in the ring with trauma, there's multiple opportunities to get up. That is like what I want to hone in on. There, you can get up. And when you get up, remember that you got another fighting chance at this thing, that it will not defeat you. And healing takes time. Just like if you got little battle wounds from fighting little dusty triggers. Anywho, and I think that's the chat. Bye, y'all.